Have you ever stopped to truly consider the vast, intricate universe that exists within your own skull? Not just the thoughts you think, the feelings you feel, but the invisible currents, the silent engines humming beneath the surface of your awareness. We walk through life convinced we are the sole captains of our ship, steering with conscious intent, making choices freely. But what if that feeling of absolute control is just a comforting illusion? What if the most intimate space you know, your own mind, is actually a stranger constantly making decisions, shaping perceptions, and writing narratives, all without your explicit permission or even your knowledge? It's a thought that can make your breath catch, isn't it? The idea that the very core of who you believe yourself to be is built upon foundations you've never seen, hidden from your conscious gaze, influencing every single moment of your existence. This isn't about some grand conspiracy or external force. It's about the silent, powerful workings of your own inner world. From the moment we wake until we drift back to sleep, our conscious minds are busy. We plan, we judge, we decide. We feel a sense of agency, a feeling that we are in charge. But beneath this surface awareness, a far vaster, older, and incredibly efficient system is constantly running. Think of your mind as an iceberg. The tip, visible above the water, is your conscious thought. It's what you're aware of right now. But the immense, sprawling mass beneath the surface, dwarfing the tip, is the unseen engine of your being, your subconscious. It's designed for speed and survival, constantly processing a flood of information, making lightning-fast judgments, and guiding your reactions, often long before your conscious mind even registers a single thought. This hidden part of your mind is a master of automation. It's why you can drive a familiar route while thinking about your day, why you can walk and talk without consciously commanding each muscle. It handles the countless details of existing so your conscious mind can focus on what's new or challenging. But this efficiency comes at a cost. Many of your most fundamental beliefs, your deepest fears, your strongest attractions, and your gut reactions aren't born from careful, conscious deliberation. They are the accumulated wisdom, or sometimes the accumulated scars, of your past. They are the result of patterns laid down over years, programming that runs on autopilot, often outside your awareness. And this is where the truly unsettling part begins. Consider the choices you make every day. You pick a certain brand of coffee, you react to a friend's comment with irritation, you feel drawn to a particular type of person. You might tell yourself stories about why you do these things. I prefer this coffee because it tastes better. My friend was rude. I like their sense of humor. But what if the deeper reasons are far more complex, hidden even from yourself? What if your coffee choice is linked to an advertisement you saw years ago that evoked a feeling of comfort, or a memory of a loved one who drank the same brand? What if your irritation with your friend isn't about their comment at all, but a deep-seated fear of judgment triggered by a similar tone from someone in your past? What if your attraction is less about a person's humor and more about the way they subconsciously remind you of a parent or a figure from your youth, fulfilling an unmet need you're not even aware of? This suggests that our free will, the sacred ability to choose, might be more limited than we care to admit. It's not that we don't have choice, but that many of our choices are heavily influenced, if not outright dictated, by these invisible forces. We feel like the captain, but often we're simply carrying out orders that were issued long ago by a hidden general we don't even know. This can be terrifying because it threatens our very sense of self, our identity as autonomous beings. If I am not fully in control of my decisions, then who am I? And if my reasons aren't truly my reasons, then what is authenticity? Beyond individual decisions, your mind is also a master storyteller, constantly weaving a narrative about who you are, what the world is like, and how you fit into it. This narrative is incredibly important for your sense of stability and identity. But it's not always an accurate report. Often, it's a carefully crafted, edited, and sometimes entirely fictionalized account designed to make sense of a messy reality and protect your ego. This is where self-deception comes in, not as a malicious act, but as a fundamental operating principle of the mind. Think about how you remember past events. We tend to reconstruct memories, highlighting certain details, downplaying others, and even inventing small elements to fit the current narrative of our lives. If you tell yourself you're a kind person, your mind will selectively recall instances of your kindness and might downplay or even erase moments when you acted less than admirably. If you believe you're intelligent, your mind will filter for evidence that supports this belief and rationalize away any data that challenges it. This is a subtle but powerful force, a constant unconscious editor ensuring that the story of you remains coherent and, crucially, positive enough for you to function. This narrative construction means we are often living within a gilded cage of our own making. We resist new information that challenges our existing beliefs, not because it's wrong, but because it threatens the comfortable story our mind has so carefully constructed. We surround ourselves with people and information that confirm what we already believe, creating an echo chamber that reinforces our biases. The terrifying aspect here is the realization that we might be perpetually lying to ourselves, not maliciously, but structurally, building a life on foundations of curated truth. How can we ever truly grow, truly learn, truly connect, if our own inner world is constantly editing the script, and then there's the past? Our minds are deeply shaped by every experience, every interaction, every trauma, every moment of joy or pain. These experiences don't just disappear. They become part of the hidden code that runs our system, especially early childhood experiences, moments of significant emotional impact, or repeated patterns of behavior and interaction from others. They etch pathways in our brain, creating deeply ingrained responses that play out again and again in our adult lives, often without our conscious understanding. Have you ever found yourself reacting intensely to a situation that, intellectually, doesn't warrant such a strong response? Perhaps a casual comment from a partner sends you spiraling into insecurity, or a minor setback at work fills you with disproportionate anxiety. Your conscious mind might struggle to understand why you feel this way, but your subconscious, that ancient part of your brain, has connected this present moment to a past wound, a buried fear, a long-forgotten trauma. It's reacting as if the past is happening now, trying to protect you from a perceived threat it has encountered before. This means we can be prisoners of our past selves, trapped in emotional loops, unable to break free because the root cause of our reactions is hidden from our view. We might push away opportunities for growth, sabotage relationships, or cling to unhealthy patterns, all because our hidden mind is operating on old programming, believing it's keeping us safe. The terror here lies in the feeling of being trapped, of watching ourselves repeat cycles we consciously want to break, but feeling powerless because the puppeteer is invisible, deep within. Finally, let's talk about perception itself. We tend to believe our eyes and ears are objective recorders of reality. We see what's there, we hear what's said, but this too is an illusion. Your mind isn't a passive receiver. It's an active constructor of reality. It filters, interprets, and fills in gaps based on your expectations, your beliefs, your past experiences, and even your current emotional state. Think about the famous invisible gorilla experiment, where people are so focused on one task that they completely fail to notice a person in a gorilla suit walking through the scene. Your mind is constantly engaged in selective attention, discarding vast amounts of information to focus on what it deems important. This is incredibly useful for navigating a complex world, but it also means we are blind to so much of what's actually happening around us. We literally don't see what we're not looking for. We don't hear what we're not listening for. Moreover, our beliefs about the world shape our perception of it. If you believe people are fundamentally good, you'll notice acts of kindness more readily. If you believe the world is dangerous, you'll be more attuned to threats. Your mind constructs a version of reality that confirms your existing worldview. The terrifying implication? We are not seeing objective truth. We are seeing our truth, a subjective reality carefully curated by our hidden mind. The terrifying truth is that much of what makes you you operates below the surface, a vast, powerful, and mysterious realm. But the liberating truth is that you have the capacity to explore it, to shine a light into those hidden corners, not to conquer them, but to understand them. To learn to listen to the whispers, to interpret the hidden language, to become more conscious of the invisible currents that shape your life. The mind is a universe in itself, and the most profound adventure you can embark on is the exploration of your own. So, are you ready to look beyond the visible and truly begin to know yourself?